So let's take a look at the second-hand vehicle purchase scheme as it applies to Northern Ireland and how it would work in the real world. So what I'm going to do is, in Navigator here, is to create a used vehicle. So straightforward stuff, so nothing's really changed here. So let's go and find a vehicle. It should be a Fiat Tipo. It is, whoever we bought it from. Where did it come from? So maybe BCA, for example. So right from BCA Manchester. Date due in stock. Well, it's not due in stock until maybe today, but maybe we bought it last week. So I bought it for £10,000. I can and might as well say if I know it's coming here, I might as well mark it as a qualifying vehicle. It doesn't really matter because it'll convert it anyway to a qualifying vehicle. If we're going to set it for £12,000, and we'll then display that vehicle. So we've created the vehicle, straightforward, no problems at all. Once we've got the vehicle created, we will then get an invoice from BCA, in this case, for the vehicle. It's a margin vehicle, even though I've put it on as qualifying, that's fine. And we will process that purchase invoice as normal. So what we'll do in here on the purchase tab is we can create a purchase invoice. We'll post the purchase invoice. And this is important. The purchase invoice is obviously got an invoice number, the date on the invoice. Let's say, for example, the auction was actually on the 28th of February. It was £10,000. The VAT was zero. There was no VAT on the invoice. It was purchased as a margin vehicle in Great Britain. There's no VAT. And we don't claim that VAT at this point. But we'll post that, and we can then post that to there. So far we've got a vehicle that's standing us in at £10,000. What we'll find though is when the vehicle then arrives into Northern Ireland, so let's say it comes across on the ferry to Belfast today, and we'll get an invoice from the shipper or whoever drove it across or whatever, and we'd need that to evidence that. We can now reclaim the Northern Ireland VAT thing. It will ask us under the second-hand purchase scheme what the date is. That's the day it entered Northern Ireland, so in this case today's date, and what's the purchase price. Now normally it's going to be this £10,000. There can be some scenarios where it's different. So say for example it was bought in Great Britain. You've got a dealership in Great Britain, it's sat in stock for 6 months, you couldn't sell it, you then transferred it to Northern Ireland. In theory, at that point, it might be different to your purchase price, but I think in reality that would be unusual. We can post that as the scheme, and what we'll see is it's now reduced. If we look at the costs on this vehicle, it's reduced that price of the vehicle by the purchase scheme. It's reduced that cost by the £1,666.66, the VAT element of the £10,000. So this vehicle is now standing me in at 8,333. It's a qualifying vehicle, so when I sell it, it will sell it for £12,000, including that in this case, and we're all sorted. Just checking a few things out. First of all, if we look at the VAT return, what we'll find in here is, and it's quite important from the VAT man's perspective, is there's a new report in here, second-hand VAT report. We can put in a date from date 2, so maybe the 1st of March to the 31st of March, just the current month, and we'll see that single vehicle in there, the stock number, the date, what we purchased it price, and how much we've claimed, so we can evidence that from the VAT perspective. And on that VAT return, it will have been processed as a VAT return, as a VAT entry in there. So all good. So hopefully that explains that.